Shalom, everyone. Today is October 3rd, 2023. And as I stated in my other video this morning, I was going to come back to you with some more information that I want to make you aware of. Now, this information is not to make you fearful. I'm just going to preface that because the enemy feeds off fear. We are to stand in our faith. For those of us who are keeping his Torah, his law, we have his seal on our forehead, Ezekiel 20:20. We have Yahuwah's seal on us. We are going to be protected. Okay? You must follow the leading of the Ruach HaKodesh to prepare both your mind, body, and your spirit. Okay? So seek Father on those preparations that you need to make, because I'm sure you've heard lots of suggestions about what to do in the coming days and tomorrow specifically. But ask Father what you should do. We should not be relying on anyone but Him. So, and study the Psalms 91. Those are our promises for protection. That's how He will help us wage spiritual warfare. We don't need to necessarily know the specifics, but all you have to do when you're feeling attacked, or you see enemy coming, or there's a challenge in front of you, look up and ask Him. Ask Him for deliverance. Ask Him for healing. Ask Him for guidance. We should be. These are times that He is using to strengthen our faith, to help us gain even more trust in Him. He's going to move big, you guys. Y'all have to remember that. He is going to move very big in very big ways. But you have to have the faith the size of a mustard seed. So as I point these things out, I don't want this to be something you start fearing over. Because the minute you let fear step in, faith gets pushed out the door. Okay? Satan feeds off fear. Do not let him feed off you. Make him starve. Make him starve. Okay? So I have a number of different connections through all the different walks of life and different professions I've had. I have connections with those who are in the EMS industry, and they also are starting to see the signs, because there was, when I was working dispatch, there is an uptick during full moons and during certain events that we did see a lot more calls. Okay, so but looking ahead, I'm seeing a lot of things to just take note of. And again, like I said, ask Father what you should do to prepare. So some of these signs and events that you may have already heard about is one in October 4th, tomorrow, where there's going to be emergency test alert signals sent to all the phones. Now, me personally, I have been led to go ahead and make a Faraday bag or cage for my phone, and to make sure that I have the devices off that I absolutely can. I do work from home, so unfortunately I'll have my modem and stuff going, but there is a chance where I can turn it off for at least, those hours during the afternoon. Also, too, if you have animals, I would highly suggest, because it's going to be something that they will probably hear more than we will because of their senses. It might be a good idea to, if you have a kennel or a secure place you can put them, where you can provide them with comforts, I would suggest that. I would suggest taking, a few hours to put your animals in a place that's safe but also protective. And then it's interesting to note too that that's the day before the last day of Sukkot, Feast of Tabernacles. And then also on October 6th is the 8th day. It's a high Shabbat. Okay? It's the high Shabbat before our weekly Shabbat on the 7th. Now on October 11th, I've also heard that there's going to be another emergency test signal. I guess it's a secondary emergency alert test signal. If for some reason that first one didn't happen. Again, I'm not sure what that is all about, but that's just another date to note. at that afternoon that there would be another possible test alert signal. Then we have Friday, October 13th, Friday the 13th. Friday is named after the false goddess Frigga. And Frigga is a pagan goddess of clairvoyance, family love, marriage, motherhood, prophecy, wisdom, and war. It's not, especially too interesting, it's not, I guess I should say, surprising that Friday, which is preparation day before the Shabbat, is named after this goddess. So, and 13, as you know, is a symbolic number of rebellion, which we'll talk to about in a minute here. October 14th is our weekly Shabbat. It's also a new moon and an annular solar eclipse. Okay, it's actually going to eclipse. It's going to be, from what I understood, it's going to be just outside San Antonio, Texas, where you'll see the pinnacle of it. But it is forming a cross across the United States from the path that the eclipse made in 2017. So some interesting things there to be aware of. And again, I'm just giving you a really brief rundown, so go do your own digging and research on this. Then we have October 21st and 22nd, where the Orionids meteor shower predicted peak, which makes me think of when the dragon's tail cast a third of the stars to the earth. Just saying, guys, just saying. Then we have a full hunter's moon and a partial lunar eclipse. So we have a solar eclipse, a partial lunar eclipse. We have our high Shabbats. We have our weekly Shabbats, the end of Sukkot, and just a lot is going on, right? And then we know October 31st is All Hallows Eve or Halloween, which is the most unholy day of the year. And as you know, Satan likes to use the law of reversal. So 13 and 31 are basically the same. The number 13 is symbolic of rebellion and lawlessness. We see that all through the Bible. Okay, 13 represents all governments created by men, inspired by Satan, in outright rebellion against Yahuwah. So this is a very, very, very wicked-filled month, but that is also a time for when we true believers, the true Torah keepers, the remnant, the Hebrew Nazarim must shine in the dark. We must rise up and warn others, and do not stand in fear. I have no fear. I know Father will protect me. He continues to show me that over and over and over again. Does that mean that I'm perfect? No, because I'm still on this earth in this form. However, he keeps his promises, and he's a good father to those children who are obedient and who are only following his son, Yahushua HaMashiach, on the narrow way. So stay in prayers, my friends, and pray and fast as you feel led, but always and only look up to Yahuwah for any healing, protection, provision that you need, because it is a testing. It is a testing, my friends. Do not be fearful. Again, Satan feeds on fear. Let him starve to death. And I pray you all be well. Hallelujah.